Alrighty, hello again. This is Trice Majestus, and we're back in Elite Dangerous Odyssey, back to making our beeline home from the carrier to make a new mining ship. So let's get in game and get things rolling. All right. Let's see if the carrier's full yet. Nope. All right. Galaxy map.
Here's the galaxy map, Commander.
Okay. 662 jumps. Excuse me. Hello, Jean-Marc. Welcome back. Ooh, looky. They glow in the dark. Hello, Mr. Mad Hatter. Welcome back. Glowy fungi. Nice. Maybe when I'm looking for these guys, I should go over the dark side of the planet. Well, they don't stand out from that far away. Okay. Retract landing gear.
Landing gear retract.
So anyway, somebody dropped a comment on, I think it was last night's stream, on how boring the long-distance travel is. It's like, yeah, you can either have fun and do stuff along the way, or you can get there quick. Choose one. If you're just trying to go from point A to point B without doing anything in between, it's pretty repetitive. I swear I've got something crawling on my legs. Feels like a spider. But I reach down and there's nothing there, driving me nuts. Some ways I wish it was our cat. But he doesn't like guys. That's due to his history. He's a rescue. And he didn't have a very good time as a young kitten either, so.
Disengaged. Frameshift drive charging.
Hello, PK Whale. Welcome to the channel. We are currently doing one of the least interactive things in, or least interesting things in Elite, which is trying to travel rapidly a long distance. Trying to go, what's it, 54,000 light years in the shortest period of time possible. Leads for very repetitive gameplay where it's jump and honk and jump and honk and jump and honk. Depends where I am and whether and what mode I'm playing in. Here, let me show you. Let me give you an idea why and get scooped. And before I do the next jump, I'll show you. So one of the things you have to understand about Elite Dangerous, it's a 1-to-1 scale model of the entire Milky Way galaxy. And this ship has one of the better jump ranges of reasonably capable ships at 65 light years a jump. A little over 65. Oops, wrong. Galaxy map.
Here's the galaxy map, Commander.
So where I started from on this little trip was here. And where 90% of all other players are is way over there. So when I'm out doing deep space exploration like this, there's usually nobody anywhere near me. If I'm over in, here, let me go. So if I was, say, by one of these systems over in here, there would be a whole bunch of players over here fighting the Thargoids, rehabbing bases, same over here, you know, taking back systems, defending systems from Thargoids, all sorts of things like that. Lots and lots and lots and lots of people there. Where I'm at, not so much. This system here tends to have a whole bunch of people in it because this is a very popular mining system. So there's a lot of people who enjoy mining, and mining platinum, which is what's most easily mineable in this system, is an extremely lucrative occupation. So a lot of people mine platinum in this system. I have a carrier in this system that what it does is buy platinum at a relatively high price And then as soon as it's full of platinum, I jump to or jump around to some of the highest paying platinum markets in populated space and sell it at a small profit. So I'm buying at around 235,000 credits per ton, and I make 20,000 credits per ton. So the miners get the lion's share of the profit. I get just a little bit for carting it. So with what I'm doing right now, where I'm trying to get back to that carrier in the shortest amount of time possible, basically,
Frameshift drive charging.
jump, honk the discovery scanner, jump again.
4, 3, 2.
And I know I had somebody who came in the other night and, they were saying how boring this is. I'm like, well, yeah. If you're doing extreme long distance travel in this game and you're trying to do it quickly,
Fuel stacking.
it's pretty repetitive. If you're exploring your way along, well, then things get a lot more interesting. Or if you're doing a bunch of the other activities in the game, it gets far more interactive, far more interesting. It's just right now I have a short-term goal of getting back into populated space, building myself a new mining ship or two, and dragging that thing with the help of Mr. Mad Hatter back out to my carrier, because the one that's out there is somewhat less than optimal for mining tritium. So I have a game plan, a set of tasks. Oh, heck yeah. I just, if you go back on my stream and look at the my live streams for the past year and a half, I spend almost all my time on planets, walking around, examining the wildlife. It's monetarily quite lucrative for in-game money. It's also a lot of fun to see the different life forms that are out there. Some of them are far more common than others, and you see them a lot. Other ones, there's a few I've run into out there that I've literally only seen once. And there's a bunch out there that I've yet to find. So I'll keep exploring. Exploring is actually my preferred activity in this game, just because of the variety of planets, life forms, systems, stars, everything. There's just so much stuff to go see in the galaxy. And that's what I prefer doing. Hello, Shane. Welcome back. Yeah, so and some of it is far rarer than others. So there's some very common bacterias that you run into in just about every system. There's some osseous that are relatively common. Each of the different life forms have more common ones, and then there are some that are just mind-bogglingly rare. And everything in between. Plus, the other thing with Odyssey is it allows you to go down onto a larger number of planets than Horizon allows you to, which allows you to see more varied terrain. Some of the things you'll occasionally see me do when I'm exploring planets is go running down canyons at high speed because I think it's a blast. I'm not all that much into, PvP fighting, into doing the faction quests,
System scan.
fighting Thargoids. I mean, it's just not stuff. I mean, I can do it. I do it from time to time, but it's not my preferred activity. When I'm doing my preferred activities, it's either A, trading, B, mining, or actually mining is my third, trading's my second, exploration is my absolutely number one preferred activity. Straight up just doing this beeline jumping just to get stuff done is more of a necessity than anything that's really fun to do. Yeah. The other thing I really love about the game is the flight model on the spaceships. They fly like they should. And as far as my personal opinion is no other game has gotten it right. I use the Thrustmaster Warthog, throttle and stick, and I've got a set of SideTech pedals to go with it. Couple of reasons for the using the Warthog.
Disengaged.
Oh, really? That's good. That'll be fun to go see.
Drive
First of all, when I was a kid, way back in the day, I went to an air show, and back in that time at air shows, they actually let the kids climb into some of the planes, and I got to actually climb into the cockpit of an A-10 and actually get my hands on the throttle and stick. Wouldn't do anything because everything was the starter, everything was disabled, but it was nice to get my hands actually onto the physical hardware of what is my absolute favorite aircraft. Kind of wish I could have gone on to fly them, but
fuel spinning complete.
did not take that route in life. So when Thrustmaster came out with
Frameshift drive charging.
a licensed replica of that throttle and stick, I had to have it. And having had my hands on the real thing, you really, the plane I was in, it had an olive green. They were painted olive green, but that's the only difference. It feels the same. It feels right. The other reason I use the Thrustmaster, whether it's the Warthog or one of the other ones, is that it does not have
Fuel scooping.
the twist to yaw. I really don't like twist to yaw. I don't find it a natural motion. And in fact, when I'm doing aggressive flying, I tried one of those.
Frameshift drive charging.
I found that it put my hands in my right hand in very awkward positions when trying to yaw, especially. Verpal is one of the top of the line sticks. It's not cheap. It's a lot of people really, really, really like the Verpal, and probably will never go to anything else after having tried it. If I remember correctly, and correct me if I'm wrong, Verpal does have the twist to yaw, which for me makes it a non-starter. I will more than happily stay with my Thrustmaster. one, for nostalgia reasons, and two, because it doesn't have the yeah, Thrustmaster. All the major controller companies sell a full suite, whether it's Cytec, Virpil, Thrustmaster. And I think there's one or two other brands that actually produce very good quality hardware.
Fuel scooping. System scan complete.
Some of the other things I like about the Thrustmaster, first of all, one of them is that the stick is throttles pretty much are what they are, but it's got the Thrustmaster system has replaceable the hand pieces on the sticks, and they have replica sticks for a number of different military aircraft. They've got, I think it's an F-16, an F-18 stick, of course got the Warthog. In fact, this is actually my second Warthog set because I wore the first one out. Yep, they got right and left-handed sticks, yep. And the T-1000 has replaceable sticks as well. One of the other things I like about the replica line of sticks that Thrustmaster makes is they're full metal. I mean, that's they're hefty. They don't slide around on your desk. Down to Earth Astronomy did a very good review on the Virpil. I didn't realize you could lock out the oh, you could, it's compatible? Oh, that's cool. Now that's something I might have to look into. If I could swap out the Warthog for the Virpil, that might be funny. That might be worth trying. Does it have a zero dead zone like the Warthog does? Because that's one of the other things that I really like about the Warthog stick is the zero dead zone. In fact, there's some configuration software for the Warthog which allows me to give it a dead zone or set it right down to zero, and I run with zero. Sure. The dead zone is the area around the center where the stick does not actually pass any input on to the system. So if I hold on, let me get away from the star, and I'll show you one of the things it means. All right, so let's get away from the star. Quite literally dead, yeah. And yep, you can adjust it in the calibration program. So if I take my hand off the stick, it might not convey very well over YouTube, but because I don't have a dead zone, and actually this stick's so new it doesn't really wander much, but my old stick I would let go and it would crawl upwards because there was no dead zone and the stick had picked up some slop because all the springs and everything inside it is a mechanical system with a piezoelectric ball, which I think is cool. But the springs to bring it back to center on my first one had worn out, so anytime I would let go, it would go off in one direction or the other all on its own. But I really don't notice that anymore since I've, did the calibration, got the new one, did the calibration on it, and it's pretty much dead on. So it doesn't wander. But what having a zero dead zone allows you is a much finer control over your ship, because you don't have an area of the control of the stick that is not mapped. Yes, you can certainly do that. Yep. Just grow it out as your stick wears out. Yeah, my first stick lasted, what, 8 years? So it's not like, I replace it very often. And I probably could have gotten it repaired or whatever, but it was just quicker and easier to get a new one.
Frameshift drive charging.
I've also been thinking about quarter-inch thick steel, yeah. Which is so basically they've taken the same model as the same idea as Thrustmaster. Oh yeah, well that's what the Thrustmaster replica series is as well. Quarter-inch steel. It weighs a lot, but you got it on your desk with the rubber pads on the bottom, and it doesn't move. If you've got an extremely slippery desk, what a friend of mine did who had a very slippery desk is he glued a mouse pad to the bottom. And that really didn't move. Of course, you couldn't slide it around your desk either. You literally had to pick it up to move it. And they're not light. There's certainly something to be said for, getting a really high quality product like the Verpal, like the Warthog. You're paying out a lot of extra money, but you're also getting easily your money's worth. Yeah, I know. And the Warthog has drivers that you have to install, and that takes care of all of it for you, plus a configuration program. One of the other nice things about the configuration program, as your stick starts to age a little bit, you can go back through the configuration program and recenter it if its center changes over time, recalibrate it, change the dead zone size, all that fun stuff. Dial it in to, extend its life and give the stick the performance you're really looking for. Yeah, but the technical instructions for that, I decided just to get a new one. But I mean, that's a personal choice. You certainly could change out those springs as it goes along. Because those were the only things that wore out on me were the return springs. And like I said, that was after 8 years. So I certainly could, you know, if I wanted to get in there and do that, I certainly could have.
Fuel scoop disengaged. Frameshift drive charging.
Oh, okay, so then Verpal must be a lot easier to open than the Warthog. This Thrustmaster base is definitely not all that easy to open. It's got a very special screw, and they don't give you the screwdriver that comes with it. It's all sealed. I mean, I can go buy this particular screwdriver. I mean, it's not that hard to get, and it's not hard to get replacement strings for it. It's just a lot of work. Oh, that's nice.
Fuel scoop disengaged. Frameshift drive charging.
Well, I suppose that's the downside of the Thrustmaster system. It is not really designed to be user serviceable. I've looked at both, decided neither one looks like something I want to play.
3, 2.
I looked at the Star Citizen had the greatest potential, but it just no.
Fuel scooping. Fuel scoop disengaged.
Cool.
Frameshift drive charging.
I think that's impressive that they made it compatible with the Thrustmaster sticks.
4, 3.
I wouldn't have thought Thrustmaster would have allowed that. Then again, the sticks might be to the military spec for the actual sticks, and that comes from the Air Force and not owned by Thrustmaster. So maybe that's why they're compatible.
System scan complete. Warning. Temperature critical. Fuel scoop disengaged. Frameshift drive charging.
Which actually makes sense since this thing is a licensed replica. So it would make sense that the interfaces are per the spec from the Air Force rather than something Thrustmaster came up with. And if Verpal made this, you know, got the same spec, then it would be really easy. You could do that with Thrustmaster too.
Fuel scooping. System scan complete. Warning. Temperature critical.
I don't know that I could wrap my head around the necessary coordination to pull that off, but
Fuel scoop disengaged. Frameshift
yeah.
drive charging.
Yeah, I've considered getting the additional control panels.
4, 3, 2.
More switches. More switches, buttons, and dials. Yay! Make it like it's a real cockpit, rather than having to double map things.
Fuel's cooking.
Mm-hmm.
Fuel sync disengaged. Frameshift drive charging. Four, three, two, systems.
Oh yeah, the flight sim GeForce chairs. Yeah, those are interesting. Not that I'd ever get one. I just don't have the need for that sort of thing. But
Fuel sync disengaged. Frameshift drive charging.
one of the things I do have to get at some point, whenever I can drum up the money for it, is get a new set of a new Toby head and eye tracker. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's been coming out for as making it as realistic as possible on the controls and such, because there's a lot of software out now that gives very realistic flight models and takes in those controls, so you can rather than excuse me, hold on a second. Rather than paying for expensive flight simulator time, or paying all this fuel for time in the cockpit, when you're actually trying to learn a certain aircraft, you can get the correct control set and for relatively inexpensive money compared to actually flying that particular plane, and
Fuel's cooking. System scan.
get a good portion of your initial experience in that plane, experience with its controls and things, right from home on your computer. Of course, it doesn't count towards your in-flight hours, but it does get you to competency a whole lot quicker. And they don't let it substitute for those in-aircraft hours for a very good reason. There's nothing like being in the actual cockpit.
Fuel's cooking. Fuel sync disengaged.
No, I am not a certified pilot, before anyone asks. I have, however, been allowed, under the supervision of a more senior pilot, to take controls of a plane, and that was a heck of a lot of fun. Hmm. Mechanic, huh? Cool.
Fuel scoop disengaged. Frameshift drive charging.
But as there's only so much you can actually do in a lifetime, well, I ended up doing other things.
Fuel scooping. System scan complete.
One point in my life, I was a whitewater kayak instructor.
Warning. Temperature critical.
Haven't done any kayaking in ages.
Frameshift drive charging.
Yeah, I don't know that I would pass medical on it either.
Fuel scooping. Warning. Temperature critical. Fuel scooping complete. Frameshift drive charging.
But I don't exactly know what the medical requirements are, so I don't even have a clue whether I could or not. Oh, okay, well then I wouldn't have any trouble with that.
Fuel scooping.
I don't know that I'd want to do ultralight.
Fuel scoop disengaged. Frameshift drive charging.
I'd actually love to learn to fly helicopters.
4, 3,
Oh, cool.
fuel scooping.
we doing here? Not quite making a jump a minute. Okay.
System scan complete. Fuel scooping. Warning, temperature critical. Frameshift drive charging.
Do you have any idea what the medical requirements are for a helicopter license? I'd love to learn to fly a helicopter. Not interested in a commercial license, just a private license.
Warning, temperature critical. Fuel scooping complete. Frameshift drive charging.
Okay. Thanks.
It's
Maybe-
my pleasure.
Maybe someday I'll look into it. Maybe not. I've already done a heck of a lot of things in my life.
System scan complete. Fuel scooping.
And so far, I've run the Boston Marathon and summited Mount Monadnock over 600 times. So,
Frameshift drive charging.
plus been a kayak instructor, plus a few other things. Okay, I don't have anything that'd make me pass out. My eyes are good enough to drive a car, but I don't know what the rules are for an aircraft. Ooh, that's kind of a big, well, not all that big. Bright Star, anyway.
Fuel scooping complete. Warning, temperature critical. Frameshift drive charging.
Ooh, an orange giant. I haven't seen one of those in a while. Well, this is going to be fun. Long ways around this guy. Although it definitely fills up the fuel quick.
Warning.
Now I gotta get a little further away from him. Not the biggest one I've seen, but that's big.
Frameshift drive charging.
32. I'm just curious now. What do we got here? Bunch of gas giants, some high metal content, and some asteroids. Okay.
Frameshift drive charging.
Actually, heck with it. Let's scan all this and see what's really here. Now I'm curious. Curiosity and travel distance don't add up very much. Yeah. Big star. Geos. Cool. A lot of geological features. Although I suppose that shouldn't surprise me. That gigantic star. Several other stars, gas giants. Probably a heck of a lot of gravitational forces throughout the system, pulling them all these planets up, or trying to pull all these planets apart. Yeah, well, the system was kind of different, so I decided to see what's here.
System scan complete.
Cool. System map. 3 stars, all orbiting each other, and all of those in orbit around the main star. That's funny. String of gas giants. Their associated moons. Quite the neat system. All right, let's keep going.
Frameshift drive.
I don't mind going a little later tonight. I would like to get at least 12 more jumps in, get below 600. Well, 13 technically.
Fuel scooping complete. Frameshift drive charging. Fuel scooping.
Something beeped at me. Did you just send me a message, Mr. Mad Hatter?
Fuel scooping complete.
Ah. See what you sent me. Let's see. I gotta go over to here. Over to here. That's a cool system. Here, let me put it up on the stream. Wait a minute, those are all stars? That's a lot of stars. And stars orbiting stars. That's something. And stars co-orbiting with... That is weird. Cool, neat system. Thanks for the picture.
Frameshift drive charging.
Yeah, I bet.
Fuel scooping. Fuel scoop disengaged. Frameshift drive charging.
You know, it's systems like that that get me heading out here. Because you never know what you're going to run into out here.
4, 3, 2, fuel scooping. Fuel scoop disengaged. Frameshift drive charging. Fuel scooping. Fuel scoop disengaged. Frameshift drive charging. Four, three, two,
All but a few were computer generated.
fuel scooping. Warning. Temperature critical. Fuel scoop disengaged. Frameshift drive charging.
Sol is obviously hand generated. Alpha Centauri, I believe, is hand generated. Shinrada Desra is hand generated. I'm not sure how many others, but it's not too many more.
3, 2,
Actually, the system with Dav's Hope, maybe. Well, remember, the hand-generated ones are also have to obey, you know, what we've discovered. So they're at the time of their creation, they were created as close to our knowledge of those systems, because those systems are in real locations. They're real systems.
drive charging.
And we do know some information about them, and everything that was generated in those systems is obeys what we knew at the time they were created. Some of them, the information has changed over time. I don't know whether they updated it, or I don't think they did. Pretty much they had to leave them how they were generated. Yeah, Betelgeuse is hand generated.
Fuel scooping.
You know, the ones where we have a lot of information, a lot of astrological information about them, were basically all hand generated. Those that are story centric, where certain things had to be in place, Those, of course, had to be hand generated. But I don't know an exact number. I'm not on the inside of, what was done. But, there's certain ones that absolutely had to be. Oh, I'm going into Izanami now. All right. Completed my journey across Newton's Vault. Excellent.
Fuel scooping. Warning. Temperature critical. Fuel scooping complete. Frameshift drive charging. Four, three, two, fuel scooping.
All right. I'm going to do 2 more jumps and then start looking for somewhere to land.
Fuel scooping complete. Warning. Temperature critical. Frameshift drive charging. Four, three, two,
Definitely not staying in this system overnight.
frameshift drive charging.
Yellow-orange, that's a candidate. And that will get me down to 599. So let's see what's there.
Four, three, two,
Now watch it be a gas station.
fuel
Nope,
scooping.
14, okay.
Warning. Temperature critical.
Yep.
Fuel scooping complete.
All right, what do we got here? Well, we got asteroids. Gas giants. Ice balls. That one has some geos. That one has some geos. Nothing else, okay. One bio. One bio. Whoop. Now we got another planet to find.
System scan complete.
One. System map. Yeah, one planet where there's any possibility of a bio, and that's this guy. Guess that's where we're gonna stay for tonight. Probably a bacteria. Although there are a couple other possibilities. Kind of a pretty ice ball.
Surface scanned by 50%.
And it's bacteria. Okay. At least bacteria on an ice ball tends to be relatively easy to locate. tritium's a better color. More likely to find them here. Deploy landing gear.
Landing gear deployed.
Landing gear deployed.
Not quite the color I was expecting for the ice ball, but okay. We'll deal with it. It's a much more difficult color to actually spot bacteria in, but that does depend somewhat on the type of bacteria. It is easy, but it is not easy. Ah,
Power plant capacity exceeded.
and of course it's one of the most difficult ones to see on an ice planet. Yep. Oh, how about that? No. Whoop. Really? There's something there? Invisituria. I can't even see it when I'm practically standing on it. Well, 2 out of 3 anyway. Well, let's see what a slightly different ground color does for me. Yeah, much easier to see on white. As you can see, we don't, there's far more brown than white. Oh, there's one. Alrighty. So we've managed 63 jumps tonight, getting us just below 600. Pretty good night for traveling. 600 is still 10 hours worth of flying to get back to where we need to be. So, I mean, this will still pretty much take us through all of next week. unless I do some extended streams, which I don't know that I'm going to do. In fact, since next week's vacation, I may actually have a couple of nights where I'm off doing family things. So we'll see what our schedule turns out as. At any rate, it is still a work night, so I got to head to bed for the night. I'd like to thank everyone who came along for the ride this evening. It was great having you all along, and we had a nice active stream chat tonight. Thank you guys. I really appreciate it. In the stream chat, we have Jean-Marc, Mr. Mad Hatter, PK Whale, who joined us for the first time. Welcome, Mr. PK Whale. Shane. Let's see. I know there's more. I know there's more. Scroll, scroll, scroll. No, I guess that's it. I thought we had one more person. Well, if I missed somebody, I'm sorry I didn't mean to, but well, it is what it is. Alrighty. So, thank you guys very much for joining me in the stream chat. It's great having you all along, as always. So, at this point, well, we're very much out of time, so we're going to leave things here. Pick it up again tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. That's all for now. This is Trice Majestus, signing out.